Okay. Um, so lately I've been doing a lot of self-discovery, right? Um, yeah, I've been doing a lot of self-discovery lately. Taking all these online quizzes, personality tests, numerology, astrology, just to, you know, figure out who is, who am I, that kind of thing. And normally when you look at these things, you get like, oh, you're gonna be awesome. You're gonna be wealthy. You're gonna have a lot of friends. You're gonna have a beautiful life, lovely kids, all that good stuff. Well, not me. What I get is that I'm an ENTJ. That, yeah, I already know this. I have ADHD. That my last name means hollow, which translates to being callous. Um, and that my numerology life path number or whatever is a 7, which means that I'm probably the most difficult person you'll have to deal with. Even though probably going to be somewhat successful, of course. Who's not going to be successful, right? You don't want to put anything negative on your website, so whatever, or too negative, I should say. But like seriously, like everything is telling me that I'm going to be probably the most difficult person I know. And some of my former friends and associates might agree with that. Um, but then I started reading a little bit more, yeah, more well constructed books, and I've been following, what is his name? Tim, Timothy Ferris, I believe. And through Timothy Ferris, I rediscovered Tony Robbins and so on. And the one thing that came through from Tony Robbins was everybody's dealt a deck of cards, or not a deck of cards, but everybody's dealt a hand, and how you use that hand is up to you. But once you're done playing the games, it's up to you. Self discovery is all well and good, but self creation, nah, that's a whole different thing. And once, like, I kept on listening. I've read like 3 of his books now. And the one thing that is, I'm starting to get is that I don't have to be the hand that I'm dealt. I don't have to be the most difficult person, even though I don't mind it. It's more, I can choose my destiny. I can, through self guidance, become whoever I want to be. And that's really refreshing, especially when astrology is telling you you're gonna have a bad day and you're probably an asshole. Did have a bad day, was an asshole that particular day. So, like, I'm just making this little video just to say that, just because you're dealt a bad hand, it doesn't mean that the game's over. All it means is that you're playing the wrong game, or that you shouldn't be playing games. Life isn't so much about, well, I'm not an expert. Tony Robbins said, life isn't about where you're from, but it's more about where you're coming. Most people, underestimate their potential about where they're going to be 2 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And what was it? I think it was another book that I read. Napoleon Hill. I think, no, it wasn't Napoleon Hill. All right. bear with me. It was Baz Luhrmann. Remember, remember to wear sunscreen. That that song from the Romeo and Juliet thing. Yeah. And the best line that I heard probably like 10 years ago now um, was the most interesting people he knew at 40. The most interesting and successful people he knew at 40 still had no idea what they were doing and still was waiting to grow up or something related to that. And it was kind of awesome, you know, because like I'm a pretty young guy, as you can see. Well, I look young right now, right? I look young right now. When the hair grows back and the gray hairs come back out, you know, that's just stress. Don't pay attention to that. But yeah, I'm still a pretty young guy, and you know, I don't want to lose hope on my relationships with people because I kind of need them to pay their bill. All right, forget that I said that. But still, everybody needs friends, right? And not just friends that are your friends because they want something from you, but friends who are your friends because they just want you. And that's a beautiful relationship right there, and that's kind of what I want, you know. I don't want any succubuses or leeches on my life. I just want people who are going to be riding right along right next to me. You know what I mean? You don't need nothing from me for real. I don't need nothing from you for real. We just going and getting this on the same road. You in the left lane, I'm in the right lane. We doing what we doing, and that's it. Like, and you know, I have a couple friends who are like that. You know, or at least I think that they're like that. Um, and that's kind of cool. And then again, you know, like I just wanted to share a little bit because I've been feeling kind of down. I got some shit going on. You know, some shit that's going on that, you know, kind of makes me feel as if, you know, maybe that change you've been waiting to make in your life and becoming a different person, maybe that change needs to happen now. And, you know, I'm not a planner because life is what happens when people are planning. And if you tell God your plans, that's the best way to make him laugh. Or, you know, those old people sayings or whatever. Hey, but it still relates. I don't want to die by myself. Well, I want to be in my own casket. What I mean is that I don't want to go through life by myself. But once I'm done with life, leave me the fuck alone. But you see what I'm saying? I'm standing in this I just realized that it's kind of weird where I am. You know, I just felt as if for what I'm saying, you know, it was best to come in an area where I am by myself. You know, I'm on a construction site. Y'all don't even know where the fuck I am. You good. But still, just want to share with my other lonely souls. Well, yeah, my other lonely souls. It might be you, and that's okay. But who do you want to be? What can you do to become who you want to be? Instead of just letting life, you know, just mold you. Why do you have to stand the way that you stand? Why do you have to speak the way that you speak? I mean, I'm full-bred Jamaican, born and raised, and you would not hear my accent unless we're social like that. Anyways. Video's too long. All right. Thanks. Wait, why am I saying thanks? If y'all look at this, whatever.